Don't leave me hanging. It's go time.
Hey everybody, it's Josh, and here we have Game 2 from the Best of 5 finals of the Intel Extreme Masters Global Challenge taking place in Cologne, Germany as part of Gamescom 2010. Our blue Zerg here on the right side of Metalopolis is not Sean, it is actually Greg IdrA Fields, the American-born player living in South Korea and playing in Germany for his shot at $5,000 for first place. He is down one game already, though, to his opponent. Member of Mouse Sports, it is the Swedish Terran player MorroW, and MorroW is the red Terran up here on the top. So we have close flying positions. Not sure if either player will be making use of that. We'll just have to wait and see. MorroW takes the first game on Zelnaga Caverns with some very impressive Reaper micro, being able to pin IdrA into his base and killing off his expansion more than once cemented his lead, and he was able to just crank out units much more quickly than IdrA was able to. So IdrA came back with that counter late in the game but was unable to get into the base of MorroW and just GG'd. So game 2 could be a different story. We'll just have to see. Right now, IdrA doing very normal drone pumping. He does scout MorroW extremely quickly with his Overlord, but that means MorroW knows exactly where IdrA is because that Overlord was so fast. Neither player really having to scout anymore this game. More drones coming out all the time. I would expect the spawning pool first, but instead IdrA does go for that extractor first. He knows how valuable speedlings are against Reaper play, and I'm sure he fully expects MorroW to be using Reapers once again. So extractor before spawning pool basically means that the moment this extractor finishes, he can sink 3 drones into gas and have enough gas available for the metabolic boost for these Zerglings. So basically planning for the worst, hoping that Reapers don't come out, but I mean it's still just a regular build order anyway. It's one of the best defenses you can have against Reapers aside from Mass Roach. Even Mass Roach is difficult to do if you don't have a good creep spread, because they are so much slower than these upgraded Reapers. But MorroW, on the other hand, getting Marine out first, probably wanting to try and score an Overlord kill. Not sure if he's going to be able to do that. Although Metalopolis is actually one of the easiest maps to score an Overlord kill on, unless they're hanging out in space. So IdrA, if he is fearing losing this, he might want to go ahead and get him moving over there. But MorroW gets that first Marine out and then goes for the Tech Lab on the supply depot. The Marine catches the Overlord. We can just assume that he's going to kill this thing. He has nowhere to run. We'll watch it anyway. MorroW does scout out the base just to make sure Roach Warren isn't up extremely early. IdrA is getting Zergling speed as predicted, as well as a Queen coming out. Nitro Pack upgrade is coming for MorroW, and that first Reaper is on the way. This Overlord finally explodes into guts and blood. So this Marine has already done his job for the day. He can probably just retire now, hang out in the base, and let the Reapers do all the rest of the work all day long. Second gas coming up for MorroW. Would not be surprised to see 2 more barracks tacked on very, very quickly close to these cliffs so that the Reapers have less distance to travel. First couple of Lings out for IdrA do try to chase down this SCV. They're not going to be able to get the kill, though. The Reaper jumps down heroic fashion, saving that SCV, and the Lings are forced to run away. This Reaper can actually catch them, I believe. 2.95 move speed against 2.95, so no, not until he reaches this cliff area. But IdrA has started to expand over here, so one Reaper going to be able to throw those D8 charges at the expansion for the time being. This Queen is coming down, but he does not have any creep to move on. Instead, IdrA thinks better of it and drops a creep tumor back here, trying to get as much creep as possible, expecting impending Reaper action. And if we look at MorroW's base, he did actually tack on 2 barracks, exactly where I thought he would. Oh no, IdrA, if you lose this Overlord, you're going to be much farther behind than you would like to be. But it looks like he is taking my advice from earlier and moving it out into space. MorroW, no amount of micro is going to be able to get your Marine to shoot farther, so it looks like this Overlord does finally escape to safety. If he really wanted to be mean, he could walk this he could walk this Marine all the way across and try to shoot from the other side, but looks like IdrA is going to have his ramp well protected by that point. So he does have 2 Queens out now, one at the main, one at the natural. He is getting a Roach Warren very quickly, which I like to see because Roaches stand up very well to Reapers even if they can't chase them down. Oh! IdrA discovers 3 Reapers at the Watchtower for MorroW. He's doing some very nice cliff micro to keep vision on these Lings. It looked like a couple of Lings got some shots on them, but only one died, I believe. But IdrA just sacrificing larva spits to be able to get these creep tumors down, because it is that important to make sure your Lings can be able to get a flank on those Reapers. Make sure your Roaches do not just get horribly outmaneuvered. Nitro packs are done. MorroW is sending his first 6 Reapers up the cliff to see what he can do. He jumps one up first, very important to see if there are any lings up there already waiting. And so he did not want to sacrifice his whole army and risk losing 2 or 3. Instead, he would only risk that 1 and move him back very quickly. So really calculated risk. Good job by MorroW. Sees what he wants to see and backs off. There are several roaches on the field and a good number of lings, but it looks like lots and lots of reapers are coming for the natural expansion area. They take out the Manx statue and continue along their way. Let's see what they're able to do here at the natural expansion. Looks like roaches are the front line of defense. However, one of them almost does go down. These reapers maneuvering around the creep. They're probably feeling a little bit uncomfortable, but with this very handy cliff, this entire cliff running the length of the main base, he's going to have lots of spots to jump up. But MorroW does lose 2 reapers there, I believe, but IdrA lost a lot of lings, and that basically translates into a lot of larvae. The lings themselves aren't extremely valuable, but the fact that he could have used that larva for drones or roaches means that this reaper offense is still doing very well to slow down IdrA. And there he does kill off a roach. Another roach goes down. There's still 10 reapers here for MorroW. Lots of roaches from IdrA, though, so his chances actually look better this time around than they did on Xel'Naga Caverns. He goes off that creep there, doesn't want to do that, so he does send his overlords around his main just to make sure that creep is everywhere. He's doing a good job with these tumors. He's lucky that they don't get picked off by these very fast-moving reapers, because if they did, IdrA would just fall even farther behind. But how many reapers do we have left here? We have 7 reapers for MorroW. I'm going to actually pop back over in his base just to make sure he's still building things. Yes, he is planning to expand, getting several depots up now. He's up to 5 barracks. He has several marauders now, so he's already switched out of the reapers. He was not successful with those reapers as he was in Xel'Naga Cavern, so he is switching it up. That lair is finished already for IdrA. Is he building any tech with it on the production tab? I don't see a spire or a hydraulic den just yet, so IdrA still fearing the worst as far as reapers. At any point, MorroW could just return and have 20 reapers, so good job by IdrA to prepare for the worst. Keeps building roaches and speedlings for the time being. Spire finally does go down right here in the armpit of his 2 bases, so if he can get this spire to complete before the reapers find it and take it out with those DA charges, he will actually be in a really good position, because MorroW does not have a ton of AA. So actually, he built nothing but marauders for the last however long. He has no marines at all, and I don't believe he's seen, no, he has not seen that spire coming yet. So IdrA actually could be in really good shape. MorroW did get stim packs and concussive shells this time around, although he has no marines anywhere in sight. He is building several of them right now, just in case. He does throw a scan down there, and that spire is in view, but I'm not sure if he was able to select it and see that quickly enough. He is getting 5 more Marines and a Ghost Academy now. That expansion is up and running. The orbital command's done. He's saturating as quickly as he can. IdrA actually is ahead in the worker count this time around. Very good of him to be able to defend that natural expansion for so long. And now he is going to get some reward out of it. This spire looks like it is going to complete right on time. Is he going to start building Mutalisks right away? He does have enough gas. Yes, here come 4 Mutalisks. And check this out by MorroW. MorroW looks like he is ready to go. He's got a dozen or so Marauders, a dozen or so Marines, and several Reapers still mixed in. He's pulling a ton of SCVs. Holy crap, he's pulling 18 SCVs to come along. So a lot of players would consider this all in. 18 SCVs is a huge loss. So if he does not win here, he's most likely not going to win at all. All these Lings and Roaches need to figure out their battle formations, but now these 4 Mutas are out. Still no real anti-air. Going to keep an eye on these Marines, because that is the only anti-air that MorroW has. They all seem to go down very quickly. The Lings get a good surround there. All the Marauders stem up, and it looks like they are able to take out all the Roaches and the Lings handily. All those SCVs vanished from the bouncing shots of the Mutalisks. No Mutalisks went down for IdrA, and only 1 Marine at a time coming out now for MorroW means that IdrA is going to have a huge advantage here with this air army. MorroW forced to pull back all the rest of his Marauders. He even stems them another time to get them to run away quickly. IdrA does have 5 Mutalisks, but if we check out the worker count now, oh, good snipe there on that Mutalisk. The worker count is down to 28 SCVs and 2 mules against 41 drones. So the fact that MorroW lost quite as many, the fact that MorroW lost so many SCVs in that attack means that he is falling farther and farther behind. He has no AA here at his main mineral line. So MorroW losing even more SCVs. He's down to only 24 to 49 at the moment. IdrA's getting air, flyer attack upgrades, and centrifugal hooks for a Baneling nest that he planted sometime. There it is. And he is actually morphing Banelings as well. I saw it on the production tab a second ago. So he is preparing for a real assault here. He's got lots of lings, lots of mutas still up, no turrets anywhere in the area. Don't even think he has an engineering bay created. No, he doesn't. So he's just going to be making Marines and Ghosts for the time being. Ghosts actually do very well sniping Mutalisks, take out a big chunk of health each time around. And of course, stimmable Marines do quite well because of their fast move speed. But let's see how many Mutalisks does IdrA have here. He's got a good 11 mutas. He runs through quite a lot of snipes, but he does kill off one Ghost. Loses another Mutalisk there to Marine Fire. Looks like MorroW does have quite a large number of Marines up at this point, so these mutas not going to be as effective as they would have been a couple minutes ago. That engineering bay is now up. Turret is up at the mineral line, so IdrA's mutas being less and less effective all the time, but he is still making Banelings and Zerglings at the same time. He also managed to take a third base, which for IdrA is like a huge victory because that first game went so poorly for him where he couldn't even really get one saturated. Now he's up to 3, so IdrA taking a good lead here. He's at 115 of food against 86. A lot of that is worker count, but the fact that IdrA has even comparable army to MorroW at this point is a victory for him. He's got a lot of Banelings here. They do have centrifugal hooks already finished, so they're going to be moving very fast on this creep. Speedling's getting a good surround here. These Banelings move right in. Oh, they killed just absolutely everything of MorroW's. Those Banelings are the MVP of that battle. There's still a huge cloud of Mutalisks here, so it's 113 food against only 50 of MorroW. IdrA taking a commanding lead after those Banelings took out so many Marines. Excellent work there getting the Banelings to do the bulk of the damage to protect his Mutalisk force. He knows that his mutas are his heavy advantage right now. There's no turrets really in MorroW's base except for at that mineral line, so IdrA moving in, only picking off a tech lab and a couple of Marines and then backing off. He does have more Banelings coming in all the time. Speedling's getting finished as well. So here he's moving in with his dominant force here. MorroW really only has a Marauder and a handful of Marines. He's trying to tack on a factory now. His money is very low. The fact that he lost all those SCVs in the first encounter and all those units to just a few Banelings in that second encounter means that MorroW is falling ever farther behind. Looks like IdrA now is making his big push. These mutas try to take out the Ghosts as quickly as they can. Yes, there they go. The Marines are down. Speedlings and Banelings rolling up the ramp. This is the last bastion that MorroW has, these 3 Marines and a couple of turrets, but MorroW does GG as those last few units die, so very well played by IdrA. Excellent Reaper defense in the early game into a smooth transition into Baneling, Muta, Speedling to mop up the rest of the forces of MorroW, so good job to IdrA. Let's see how these players do in Game 3.